Well, after a long delay, men's professional soccer is back in the South Puget Sound and here at Cheney Stadium in Tacoma, Washington, where tonight Tacoma Defiance play host to San Diego Loyal SC here on ESPN+. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Andrew Harvey, joined as always by Dave Clark. And Dave, this match, so fitting, a real dramatic irony to it. 428 days ago, it was this match played behind closed doors that was the last professional sporting event in the United States before that lengthy lockdown. The USL Championship resumed play in July of last year, and now here they are. And Dave, the most beautiful sound in the world, there are fans in the stands.
Yeah, it's a great night for soccer here in Tacoma. Mount Rainier is out looking down upon us, and the fans are scattered about here safely at Cheney Stadium, looking forward to a match between Defiance and Loyal.
And on San Diego Loyal, a very familiar face for fans of Tacoma Defiance. Trey Muse getting the start in goal tonight. The Sounders keeper spending the season out on loan with Landon Donovan's side.
Yeah, Trey Muse has done a great job here with the San Diego Loyal so far. You can see one of his brilliant kick saves here in this highlight against Phoenix Rising. No time to react, and a beautiful kick save there. He's great at that. Tacoma Defiance will try to put him under a little bit of pressure later in the game.
Well, for Tacoma, meanwhile, we're keeping it local because why wouldn't you? Eric Kinsner, the center back, getting his first professional start in his hometown tonight.
Yeah, it's a great moment for Kinsner. He's a man who grew up wanting to play professional soccer, signed a contract last year, had 2 appearances both on the road, and this year, right there in front of his hometown, he's born right across Commencement Bay, wearing those Commencement grays tonight.
On the Commencement Gray, the new home kits for Tacoma Defiance, available, by the way, in the team store. And Dave, I mean, it's just a picture-perfect evening for soccer. Weather is beautiful. You don't always necessarily get that this time of year, but tonight, a really special night for the fans, for the viewers as well, but I'm going to be a little bit selfish here. Special for you and me, too. We haven't seen each other in person since our last call in October. It's good to see you, man.
Yeah, it's great to be back, to see the familiar faces here at the stadium, the fans that we've known and grew to over the 2019 and the first 2 games of 2020 to see. And then, to have it back. Heck, there's Jack the Bear just strolling through the stadium right now, too. It's a good feeling to have that sense of normalcy.
We'll take a break for the national anthem. When we come back, your starting 11s, and of course, the first 45 minutes of Tacoma Defiance versus San Diego Loyal SC here on ESPN+.
We ask that you please rise and kindly remove your hats and join us in honoring America with the singing of our national anthem, performed this evening by the talented Harborettes.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Welcome back into Cheney Stadium in Tacoma, Washington, and here on ESPN+, set for kickoff between Tacoma Defiance and San Diego Loyal SC. But first, Dave, before we get to the starting lineups, let's take a look at the multi-care pre-match health report. And Dave, as you always want this time of year, it's good news for Tacoma Defiance.
Yeah, early in the season, Wade Weber has a full selection. No one is on that multi-care pre-match health report.
Taking a look at Landon Donovan's starting 11 for San Diego Loyal SC now. Couple changes from that loss last weekend against Rio Grande Valley FC, but some familiar names as well. And of course, the ever-present Sal Zizzo wearing the captain's armband.
Yeah, Sal Zizzo, the San Diego native. You have Colin Martin, had experience over there with Minnesota United, Corey Herzog, Ben Spencer. It is a stacked San Diego lineup. They've got ambitions there with Loyal. They want to see great things happen this season.
Well, we talked about keeping it local with Eric Kinsner. Wade Weber has certainly done that with the rest of his team sheet selection. The pipeline in full effect. 7 of his 11 starting players tonight, products from the Seattle Sounders FC Academy.
Yeah, the young kid, Obed Vargas, that's the second Vargas on the team, no relation. Out of Alaska, moved out here as part of the homestay program, just signed to a pro contract last week, and he's already getting his second start. So it'll be interesting to see him. We're hearing great things about Obed Vargas. And then I'm going to keep an eye on Tom Brewitt. He's going to be the one that offers a little bit of leadership and stern experience. He's a Liverpool product, now 24, just joined Tacoma to help with a little bit of that ferocity on the back line.
Your referee tonight is Chris Ruska. Assistant referees Babacar Jallo and Adam Sanchez. Adaraman Roy is the 4th official. We are underway here from Cheney Stadium. Tacoma Defiance, wearing their commencement gray, will move from left to right on your screen here in the first half. San Diego Loyal in a very hard to miss orange, headed back the other way. Christian Herrera puts that first ball into touch out the far side. Herrera comes to Tacoma Defiance by way of a couple different clubs. He spent some time with Oakland Roots while they were still in the NISA, a couple other organizations, but never really was a starting keeper for any of them.
Yeah, he was on loan here with Defiance for a couple of weeks last year, and then helped Roots to make the championship of their league last season when they were down with NISA. They're now in the Pacific Division here in the USL Championship, and Herrera will get to face his former team.
Quick pressure for Trey Muse, who's facing some former teammates. Well, you could argue current teammates, just out on loan from Seattle Sounders FC. Given a chance to put himself in a new professional environment with Landon Donovan and a San Diego team that Dave certainly have to say is better than their record would seem to suggest coming into tonight's match. 2 losses from 2 bites at the apple, including a very tough loss on the road against Phoenix Rising.
Yeah, they're high ambition for them and high expectations around the league early.
Alex Villanueva wins the early free kick. That's Colin Martin, the guilty party. Villanueva, now kind of the left back of choice, you'd have to say, which is a bit interesting when you think about who was in that spot before him. Nick Hines, now signed off with Nashville in Major League Soccer, although out on loan to Austin Bold. Danny Reynolds as well, who helped anchor that spot last year, as Christian Herrera lost his footing just now. I think he was claiming he was fouled.
You'll notice both of the fullbacks for Tacoma Defiance are former wingers. Alex Villanueva was a winger with the Sounders Academy, and then Issa Rayan was a winger with Philadelphia Union before they tried to make him into a right back as well.
Ball up to Alfonso Ocampo Chavez there. Ocampo Chavez, of course, signed to a contract with Sounders FC in Major League Soccer, able to come down thanks to the short-term loan agreements. And Dave, that's something that Tacoma really missed out on last year. The quarantining protocols meant that there was very little movement between those 2 rosters. In fact, Trey Muse, who started in goal, you could say, on the reverse side of this fixture against San Diego Loyal, that was his last appearance of the year for Tacoma.
Yeah, Tacoma and Wade Weber will have a few more choices this year, seeing a few of their familiar faces. Remember, before Alfonso Ocampo Chavez signed with Seattle Sounders, he was one of the better scoring men for Defiance.
This is Marlon Vargas. Come inside now for Sota Kitahara. And square for Villanueva. Ocampo Chavez out wide. Kitahara taking some space. And a heavy touch and a turnover. Then Spencer. And Spencer, you have to say, probably likes his chances for just about any aerial battle he'll get into out there tonight.
Yeah, I think there are only 2 Defiance players of his size, and that's Eric Kinsner and then Christian Herrera.
That is Kinsner on the ball there. Villanueva, and one away, although Alejandro Guido has committed the foul. Now here's Martin. Wide for Spencer. Chopped in, and Herrera bobbles that a little bit. I think he might have lost that in the sunlight, Dave.
That sun is setting, and it cuts right through a band of Cheney Stadium behind us. Gets a little bright, amplified for about 15 minutes.
This is Ryan. He's knocked over. Didn't seem to be too much in there from Jack Blake. But Chris Ruska, the referee, saw enough to give the free kick.
I think Tacoma like how the referee is calling this one so far. They're a slightly smaller team, so if they're going down like that and getting the regular calls, it'll be a bit to Defiance's advantage.
Tom Brewitt keeps it short for Kitahara. Brewitt, you mentioned, former Liverpool Academy product and spent considerable time in the English lower levels. Chance for a bit of a change of scenery by coming over here to the USL. Hughes. Hoping to link up with Metcalf there on the near side. Here's Guido. On the way by Gonzalez, who's wearing the captain's armband tonight.
Tacoma's in a different shape than they ran last year, and a different shape from the first team. They're running a 4-3-3, basically flat in the midfield and with a withdrawn forward. It'll be an interesting tactic to see what Wade Weber develops throughout the season.
Sent away there by Hunter Ashworth, American-born, but represents New Zealand on the international stage. And there is head coach Wade Weber, you saw momentarily, in his first year as Tacoma Defiance head coach, and been an assistant in years past, replacing the departed Chris Little, who joined the Colorado Rapids staff as an assistant coach. And I guess if the theme is keeping it local, Dave, you can't get much more local than a guy like Wade Weber.
Wade will tell you how much he loves Tacoma. I know he got married here in the town, born and raised in the 253 before it was the 253. Lives just across the county border up in Federal Way now.
Played his high school soccer right here in the area for Jefferson High. Member of the Jefferson High Invincibles, a team that didn't lose a game for the 4 years that Wade Weber was there. Of course, he'll give credit to some of the other guys who were involved in that project.
It's hard to keep track of the titles that he won in high school because he did it both as a coach and a player.
Herrera manages to wrong foot Herzog with his first touch there. Tacoma Defiance in a bit of trouble. Seem to be navigating it all right.
A little broadcaster's curse moment there.
Kinsner hits the reset button, as it were. Given away. Now here's Obed Vargas. Picks out Marlon Vargas. Marlon Vargas strikes for goal. And just caught it too square, Dave. Off target.
Yeah, I think he was not quite anticipating that, so he didn't have the time to set up the shot that he wanted. But I like that opportunity. They're transitioning really well into attack today. Tacoma wants to press high. They want to transition rapidly. You see here on the replay, just a good feed. And he kind of oversettles on the ball, doesn't get down, sends it off towards Foss High School.
Villanueva looking down line with that throw in. Obed Vargas racing up the far side and stepping through his defender in the process. Obed Vargas, we talked about a little bit. Young player from Alaska, signed to a pro contract just the other day, in fact, and someone who the organization holds in very high esteem, Dave.
Yeah, I think the city of Tacoma is going to love him because everything I hear about his play and his determination is grit, grind, defiant. Just everything that you think of when you think of Tacoma is kind of his style. He loves to work hard. So we're going to see a lot of Obed tonight.
Brought down here by Anguiano. Ryan.
Whoops, a doodle there.
That certainly put his man on skates. Ball up top. Spencer knocked off for Guido. Now Blake. Cross in from the left side, looking for Herzog. Jack Blake lets it run out.
It's interesting. From that position, I would have expected San Diego to try and do a set piece from that throw in. With forwards like Spencer and Herzog, you can target them in the area.
And the flag up against Corey Herzog there. He's offside. Herzog joining from Reno 1868. Who, of course, ceased operations in the offseason.
Yeah, Reno's players wound up all over the league, lots of experience. They were a quality side, so you'll see several of them with various clubs in the USL Championship now. Similarly, that's why Carlos Anguiano is with Tacoma Defiance.
Well, some real stick over where exactly this indirect free kick should be taken in Tacoma's own defensive third. And it runs all the way through for a San Diego goal kick on the far side.
Anguiano was one of my favorites with Timbers 2 last season. And an interesting player that settles at the 8, but he can be a 6 or a 10 as needed.
Ball gets beyond Kinsner, kept in by Villanueva. Herrera got the sun in his eyes, pressure coming. Villanueva forced to deal it away. Quick throw in from Jack Metcalf. Ashworth. Campo Chavez. Pass midfield, and that'll be a free kick. Jack Blake coming through the back of Anguiano.
And you'll see San Diego wants to slow things down there. Defiance would have preferred a quick reset. They were in transition during that foul.
Kitahara over the set piece. Defiance play the simple pass.
I'm going to want to talk to the kit man for Tacoma because there's a 77 and
Clever leave there. And the cross in from Azriel Gonzalez. Cleared as far as Marlon Vargas in the right alley. It takes an awkward skip off his foot, though. Talk about that dummy, Dave, that nearly set up that opportunity.
Yeah, that was a great little play there. Long pass low, and the dummy is what opened up the space. The entry pass was just a touch off. Campo Chavez couldn't beat his man to get to it, unfortunately. I was going to make an interesting note about 77, 88, and 99 for Defiance, but I'd prefer they spoil my notes with things like trying to score.
That ball taking Ocampo Chavez very wide, able to hold it in play, defended by Ashworth. Villanueva. Work back to Kinsner. Kitahara trying the ball over the top, got too much of it. Tight confines here at Cheney Stadium. And everyone, I think, after maybe such a long layoff, needing to get reaccustomed to that.
Yeah, Defiance did have a pregame scrimmage here against Oakland Roots. Defiance winning that one. but it takes a little bit to get used to the stadium. Last season, recall, not every team had the same number of home games, so Defiance, during the restart, only played 4 home matches.
Here's Van Kayazili. Square to Ashworth. And Colin Martin back to Trey Muse. Adams. Pass midfield. Poked out wide for Zizzo. Now Herzog, who's onside. His quick cross blocked right away by Kinsner. And bounces toward the goal line. Crosses out for a corner. And a chance for San Diego to use some of that height advantage they tend to carry.
Heck, Spencer just used that to be able to block Herrera from being able to save that from being what he could have just grabbed quite easily.
That's a literal tall order. Herrera's 6'6", Dave. Jack Blake teeing up the corner kick. Swings this in, gets beyond Zizzo, bounces up and over the crossbar, and it's given as a goal kick. Well, since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. A 15 minutes gone here at Cheney Stadium, 0-0 between Tacoma Defiance and San Diego Loyal. Both these teams having good attacking movements into the opposing final third, Dave, but no real quality chances on goal just yet.
No. We've seen a lot of those half moments where the insertion pass, if it was just a tiny bit better, could have resulted in magic. Rapid transition, which has been interesting. Again, that 15 to 30 yards out is where we need to see either team start to be effective if they're going to break the deadlock.
Some hard running from Martin there, but he's dispossessed by Obed Vargas. Now here's Ocampo Chavez. He tried to square it back inside. He'll get the corner, but Dave, you have to wonder if he might be not teeing that up on his left.
I think in Alfonso Ocampo Chavez, with a few more games of experience under him during the season, takes that shot himself. I think that's just one of those early season where you tend to overthink things.
Azriel Gonzalez will strike the in-swinging corner. Low ball. Kinsner dispossessed and cleared away by Martin. Here's Guido, and Kitahara gives away the free kick shy of midfield.
A smart foul by Soda there. San Diego seemed to have the flow of the game. Here's that ball, and it's really right there. I want Alfonso Ocampo Chavez to just get a snap kick off with his left foot. That's something he should be capable of doing. Put that shot on frame, see what happens.
AOC, as he's known to the fans out here in the Pacific Northwest, getting his first start of the season, first appearance as well. Blake, diagonal ball here. Right idea to spring Jack Metcalf. Just a little too much on it. Here's the new shell game, Dave. Allowable under the laws. New restarts don't need to leave the 18 to be live balls.
The attempt there is to try to bait the defending team into pushing a little bit higher than they want to, opening up the transition game. And what I've seen in American soccer so far in this early season, both in the USL Championship and MLS, I'd rather them just use the keeper. You're shorting yourself a player.
Zizzo. Guido. Sent back to Adams. Campo Chavez breaks the ball up. Can't recover to it. Both these teams struggling a little bit to connect all the phone lines through the middle of the field.
It's interesting to see Loyal sit back a bit more than I expected. With their experience, I want them to dribble at Tacoma.
A little left to the imagination on that challenge from Colin Martin. Second or third one he's been involved in so far. Came for the ball, but Villanueva was already gone.
Yeah, and Villanueva was hoping that he could get an advantage call there because the ball was already at his feet again off the next pass. On the replay, yeah, kind of coming through late and low.
Kind of seems like players on both sides, Dave, struggling to find their footing a little bit on this surface. You wonder if it might have had a little bit too much water before the match, or
yeah, and
something.
I think on that one there was a little bit of contact between Defiance and San Diego, because I heard Landon Donovan screaming out, "Oh, come on."
Obed Vargas gets to this ball. Tackled from behind, still gets loose. Ocampo Chavez here. Marlon Vargas. I'll try to tee himself up for the volley, but got the outside of his boot. Now here's Herzog. Guido's gone down.
Bruitt's confused by that call.
Well, the USL is committed to supporting the LGBTQ plus community through the Forever Proud project. The USL will strive to create safe and welcoming environments for all fans, players, employees, and partners. Learn more at uslsoccer.com/forever-proud. Obviously, Dave, that just such an important project as Villanueva, well, doesn't have much in the way of recourse here. Got caught with the boot high and got the better of Jack Metcalf.
That's one of those interesting options there that Wade Weber is going to be forced into, or choices that Wade Weber is going to be forced into, with one of his defenders carrying a yellow that early in the game. Just a heads up, Randy Mendoza is the backup fullback. Currently on the bench. He can play as a left back or a right back.
Dangerous opportunity here on the set piece. Adams over it, one in the wall for Tacoma. It's Marlon Vargas. And the sun right in Christian Herrera's eyes. Low ball from Adams. Skipped on from Herzog, and Herrera happy to just backpedal and let that one drop in.
Wonder if he needs a conversation with Casey Keller or Marcus Hanneman about how to deal with the weird sun that we sometimes get. Maybe he starts to wear a ball cap like both of those did at various points.
You never see it done anymore. The laws of the game do still allow for the keeper and the keeper alone to wear a soft brim cap. But Dave, you'd never live it down with your teammates if you chose to.
I guess part of it was that it was Casey Keller and Marcus Hanneman who's going to question those two.
Kitahara grabbed there by Ben Spencer, and a free clearance for Tacoma Defiance.
Fouls are slightly in Tacoma's favor. Well, they're double right now. San Diego's got 6 against. Tacoma just 3.
Well on the way by Herrera. Guido toward Herzog, he's onside. Falling toward Spencer. And boy, that's a big time clearance from Issa Ryan to take that out of the air, send it into touch on the far side.
Yeah, just clear it out, let Tacoma reset. Smart play from the youngster.
Diagonal ball here, bounces right into Herrera. Ryan. Gone ahead for Anguiano. And it's a free kick, not a throw-in. Bit of a tug on the back there.
One of those sequences with the good thought, but the feet didn't cooperate there for Anguiano.
Brewitt. A link up, cut out there by Adams. And Kitahara concedes the free kick right at midfield. Chris Ruska appealing for calm. And Anguiano needs a moment. Might be something lingering from that foul from a moment before.
Ruska's signals didn't seem to be against a particular team. It's just more of a, I've seen this on both sides. Can both of you calm down?
Certainly a spirited opening 25 minutes here. No goals, however. That's a weekend of unfinished business as St. Petersburg, Florida takes center stage Saturday night on ESPN2. Last season's conference champions, Tampa Bay Rowdies and Phoenix Rising meet in the Sunshine State as both set their eyes on a return to the championship final. Don't miss the Rowdies and Phoenix Rising from historic Al Lang Stadium Saturday, May 15th at 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Long ball there. Too long, in fact, for his teammates. Dave, you think about that Tampa Bay Rowdies Phoenix Rising match. Certainly there won't be an actual trophy handed out, but in the eyes of the supporters, you have to think that Saturday's contest is going to mean more than just a potential 3 points.
No, and it's great to see the cross-conference matchups returning. I know San Diego Loyal's got a Louisville City FC visit coming up as well. That's going to be fun for both teams involved. And to be honest, I want to watch that because Al Lang is in beautiful downtown St. Petersburg. There's a great fish and chip spot just south of it.
Campo Chavez tried to slip it through for Obed Vargas there. It's knocked away. Quickly the other way. Looped ahead. Here's Blake. Cutting inside. Shoulder to shoulder comes the challenge. Well, you talk about these cross-conference matchups, and for San Diego Loyal, just a real slog of road matches before they'll have a chance to go home. This their third or fourth straight that they'll play. Louisville, that last road match before they'll finally return home. And tough way to open your season, Dave.
It's a tough way to open the season, but one of the things that coaches can get an advantage from that is that they know they're going to have extra home games at the end of the season. Getting into that run-in, a few extra games at home, and you've tested your squad. You've understood what they'll do under immense pressure.
Loyal trying to create a dangerous opportunity here. They found Metcalf. His cross sailing in, loose inside the 6, rattled around, and has gone out for a goal kick.
We know that didn't touch Ryan because he would have had the opportunity to chase it down if he felt that it did. San Diego was wanting a corner off of that.
San Diego nearly taking out a pair of their own teammates there. Here comes Zizzo up the near side. Adams, dangerous ball. Herrera once again can Conducting those aerial measurements, making sure that ball is actually going to wind up leaving the field of play. Villanueva plunks it off his own shin. Obed Vargas. Broken up in Tacoma, Dave. Not able to get out of their own half right now. San Diego hemming them in, isolating the ball and winning it back.
Yeah, we've had about 8 minutes now where Tacoma hasn't threatened except for just that one time. It's been San Diego's favor recently.
Here for Herzog, inside towards Spencer. Threw it underneath the first ball. Villanueva the second. And Herzog will let it run.
Herzog wanted that restarted much faster.
Boy, that's a nifty little heel flick from Ben Spencer there to try to set Herzog to the inside. Didn't work, but what creativity from the San Diego man.
Those two were in the same headspace, too. There weren't any words exchanged, but they knew what they wanted there.
So important, Dave, to have your strikers on the same page as one another.
You also notice that Tom Brewitt, when he cleared that ball, wanted it high and far just so he could have a conversation with the Tacoma back line, get them resettled.
Blake. Broken up by Ryan. Obed Vargas. Falls to Martin. Now it's Herzog. He has a go. Herrera parries, and Spencer cleans up the rebound. It won't count. Then Spencer offside. And Tacoma Defiance have never been happier to hear the referee's whistle. Wanted to go quickly on the restart, too. Here's another look at it, Dave.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting here to see just outside of the frame. Spencer was well ahead of the last center back when the shot was taken. But Landon will be happy with him taking that shot anyway, because frankly, make the referee pull the whistle. If they make the error, you have a goal.
Now for San Diego, just try to keep your mind from turning to a disallowed goal for offside they also had against RGVFC. Long shot blocked there, still falls for Metcalf. Low cross, and that one dealt out. Gone for a goal kick. We apologize if the field mics are picking up any of the fresher language that you might be hearing from the pitch. But at the very least, you can be assured that you are getting the authentic experience if you're tuning in at home. Some consternation from San Diego. They felt they'd won a corner there. Now here's Guido. That falls to Spencer. He's onside this time, gets past Herrera, and that's gone out for a corner.
Issa did a great job of shutting down the angle there. Herrera covering ground. Prevented Spencer from putting that on goal, but you don't want your right back to try to catch up to a forward that has his scoring record.
Here's Blake for his second corner. Herrera goes for the punch, doesn't get it, and Spencer wins another corner. For our position in the booth, Dave, I thought for a second he'd tuck that in at the far post.
Tom Brewitt and Spencer are starting to get to know each other really well.
Well, you'll never lose track of Ben Spencer on a corner. You certainly can't afford to. And Chris Ruska, the referee, wants to talk to the scrum that's inside the 6-yard box. Having words with Kitahara. This corner from Adams. Curling in. Spencer gone airborne. Header off the post. And a free kick given coming out.
I think it might have been because Ben Spencer used both hands on the shoulders of Tom Brewitt, kind of using him like a gymnast might.
Well, Christian Herrera took that free kick quickly. He wants Corey Herzog to be cautioned because he feels Herzog didn't retreat the distance. Herzog didn't make a movement to get in range of the ball. It's typical dark arts soccer, Dave. Just a lot of guys trying to do a lot of stuff to get someone else cautioned.
And as typically happens, no one gets cautioned.
Well,
Just slows the game down for both sides.
as is tradition. Good header there. Kinsner trying to bring that down. And yeah, Corey Herzog pulled down by the jersey there. Kinsner will be the second member of this Defiance back line to go into Chris Ruska's book. He'll go in here in the 36th minute. On this, Dave, a really dangerous distance for San Diego Loyal as they're looking to notch the opening goal. Conceivably, you can put this on frame or try to serve it into someone.
Yeah, it's distance and angle. You'll see that Tacoma brought everybody back. It's the first time they haven't had an outlet on any of the set pieces.
4 in the wall for Tacoma. And 4 Loyal players talking over who's going to take this. Blake's there, so's Metcalf, so's Adams, so's Martin.
2 of them are just to screen Herrera out a little bit so he has lesser visibility.
Quick restart, Metcalf. Back for Blake. And that ball never came down. Herrera gone quickly, and he's pumped it into touch once more. Working a little bit too fast is the Tacoma Defiance keeper. In here from Metcalf, he squares it, and it gets beyond Guido. He stretches out, gets a foot to it. And you have to say, Dave, San Diego putting the home team definitely back on its heels over these last 15 minutes.
Yeah, all of the momentum right now is about Loyal. And I think they're going to try to keep that Metcalf quite active with both Villanueva and Kinsner, the 2 left-sided defenders, sitting on yellows. If you can use Metcalf more aggressively, good things should happen for San Diego.
Now open on weekdays from noon to 5 p.m., the We Are Tacoma team store is stocked with Tacoma's newest kit, Commencement Gray. Defiance's new kit honors Tacoma's connection to sea and sky. Freshen up your fit with Commencement Gray online at wearetacoma.com/teamstore or visit the team store on match days. And Herrera drives that one over the right field wall for a solo home run.
Very particular about ball placement today.
You always see it at the start of the season, Dave. It's always a point of emphasis. Then you kind of go into the dog days of summer where referees loosen up a little bit on it. And then, of course, come championship time, they switch back to the way things were and confuse everyone because they're going back to what they were doing at the start of the year. Header won by Martin. Kinsner's gone down, perhaps a little bit ambitiously to earn that free kick, Dave.
I think Brewitt was asking for that call before the actual contact occurred, too. I heard him through the headset, not even the field mics, just directly in my ears.
Kinsner's free kick high into the far side, looking for Asriel Gonzalez, who has struggled to get on the ball over these first 40 minutes, Dave. Azil looking downfield. Obed Vargas looking for Villanueva. Instead, here's Spencer. Zizzo. Blake calling for the ball down the alley. Comes his way. Blake's cross. Broken up by Kinsner. Arlen Vargas trying to chase down the loose ball. Ocampo Chavez moving ahead. He slips it toward him. Flag's going to stay down. He squares it back inside. Obed Vargas. One more for Gonzalez. Gonzalez tries to poke it through, and Trey Muse goes to ground. Really just wanted to make sure he had his body behind it. Simple stuff for him. Lovely ball into space here. It's Guido. Option to square it. Goes himself, gets beyond Herrera, but Herrera does just enough to turn it aside.
Get a quick little replay here, and he's in open space. Kinsner does a good job of closing down that angle, forcing the near post shot, and Herrera gets the one mitt, pushing it barely wide.
You can't miss by less than that, Dave. Good save. San Diego trying to pour on the pressure. Spencer's cross. Bancayazili pops it into the hands of Christian Herrera. Brewitt claims he was fouled. Herrera loses his footing trying to get that up to Ocampo Chavez. San Diego quickly back on the ball. That's been the story of Tacoma Defiance and just about every clearance they've had tonight. Brewitt slides in, concedes the throw-in.
And this time San Diego with a quick restart.
Looking for Herzog. Now here's Martin. Metcalf. Floating one in. Herzog gets ahead to it. Blake goes for goal, and Herrera makes the stop, grabs the loose ball, and held it in play, too. Call that sideline feet in the other form of football, Dave.
A little bit of catch radius right there.
Guido passes beyond Martin. Metcalf in support. Metcalf floats that in. Spencer toward goal. Herrera right there. Boy, Christian Herrera has been called into action a few times here in this first half. Hasn't really caught the ball cleanly yet, but he's made all the stops he's needed to, Dave.
Yeah, and I like what he's doing right now, is slowing things down. In the past, in this match, we've seen him try to react too quickly, reset the ball. This gives Tacoma a little bit of a breather, and I was going to say maybe has him put the ball in a little bit more of an opportunity for Defiance, but San Diego rapidly won it back again.
Well, there's no denying, Dave, that second balls have pretty much all gone Loyal's way so far in this contest, and it's something that Tacoma Defiance need to address. Meanwhile, here we are in the 44th minute, 0-0 between Tacoma and San Diego. And Dave, Wade Weber happy to get to halftime at zeros if this scoreline holds?
I think zeros is going to be okay, because Wade can't say that Tacoma had many opportunities they should have converted.
Ryan Gonzalez. And the return. Gonzalez here. Forgot the ball. Laid it off for Ryan. The shot through traffic. Corkscrews around and goes in! Carlos Anguiano, welcome to Tacoma. His first goal. It comes completely against the run of play and shortly before the break.
As I was saying, Andrew Harvey, Wade Weber would not be happy with a 0-0 at halftime. You see here, it just pops out. He takes the quick shot, and I think Muse might have been screened because he's normally much better on the reactions than that. Don't think he got his eyes on it.
And I called it a deflection on the initial glance. I'm not certain it actually did take a touch. I think that Anguiano might have threaded the needle there. We'll have to see if we have another angle of that.
It's a little bit of corkscrew action on it. I'm looking forward to seeing more replays on that throughout the week.
San Diego still have a chance to try to bring this match level. 2 minutes of added time will play. We tick into the first of them here.
San Diego trying to pounce quickly, but you also see a little bit more life in Defiance.
Ashworth looking once again for Blake. We talked a lot about Herzog and Spencer in the build up to this match and over this first half, but Blake so far has been one of the real weapons for San Diego out on that left wing.
Yeah, both wingers have been prolific, and I think Landon will be happy with that. Eventually, though, unless your winger is diving in at the elbow frequently, they're going to have to connect their passes. And that, if you're playing a two-forward set, you got to connect to those two forwards.
Quick diagonal ball, looking toward Blake once more. Ryan, the first one to it. Well worked by Blake there. Not enough to win the corner. Some hard running all the same.
A lot of people might assume that the bigger player is going to win that, but I think Issa Ryan just demonstrated that with proper positioning and a lower center of gravity, you can shield the ball effectively.
Vargas trying to get that off toward Anguiano. Guido looking to slip that ball through. And we hit halftime. Well, Carlos Anguiano, the first half hero for Tacoma Defiance, comes up huge with a 44th minute goal that gives the hosts a 1-0 advantage over San Diego Loyal. Dave, your final thoughts on that first half?
I think that Defiance is going to be happy with Christian Herrera's performance this evening. He's really kept them in the game. His reaction and his ability to work in traffic has been strong this evening. And then if they can capture moments like that with Anguiano or Afonso Campos Chavez being in on goal once in a while, Wade Weber might see a second goal.
At the half, Tacoma Defiance 1, San Diego Loyal 0. We'll take a break here on ESPN+.
Here are AARP top tips on caregiver preparedness during coronavirus. Form a team that can help with caregiving tasks. Take an inventory of essential supplies in your loved one's home. Make a list of the care recipient's medications. Schedule regular calls to fight isolation. Finally, take care of yourself too. Follow the Centers for Disease Control's guidelines for coronavirus safety. For more caregiving tips, go to aarp.org/caregiving.
Our fight against coronavirus isn't over. We still have to slow the spread and do our part. Let's wear face masks in public. Stay 6 feet or more from others. Follow state and local guidelines. Wash our hands frequently and stay home when we feel safe. For ourselves, for our loved ones, for our future. Let's move forward together. Learn more at coronavirus.gov.
Sigue la lucha. Aún no acaba esta batalla. A estas alturas ya estamos cansados, pidiendo esquina. Pero no es momento de bajar la guardia, porque este enemigo, cuando parece que ya está en la lona, se levanta de nuevo y te ataca por donde menos lo esperas. Así que arriba la guardia, porque si pierdes la máscara, todos perdemos la lucha.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool.
To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. If you could see you through my eyes instead of your ego. I believe you'd be surprised to see that you've been blind. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Yeah, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
Can I get the now bar, please?
$1.
Have a good one.
Got it.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
Let me get a now bar.
Sure. $1.
Appreciate you.
Got it.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
This is Jake Edwards, and you are listening to Steal Some Time.
First buy or sell of the day. Oscar Jimenez is a top 3 set piece specialist in the USL Championship. Scott, you buying or selling that?
Take all the money in my bank account. I think Oscar, I will buy that. And really, I would say that I would have bought that from like 2017, 2018 on.
Welcome back into Cheney Stadium here in Tacoma, Washington. It is halftime between Tacoma Defiance and San Diego Loyal SC here on ESPN+. Tacoma Defiance leading 1-0 thanks to a late goal from Carlos Anguiano in the 44th minute. I'm Andrew Harvey alongside Dave Clark. Dave, exciting action here. But before we turn our attention to that, we need to turn our attention to what's going on around the rest of the USL Championship. And obviously, Dave, the first thing we have to talk about is that Pacific Division match that we witnessed just last night.
Yeah, just last night, Tucker Bone, who is familiar to fans out here in the Pacific Northwest, led Sacramento Republic to a big 3-1 win over Las Vegas Lights FC. Big pick-me-up for Sac, and it'll be interesting to see what the Republic do for the rest of the season.
So that's the action that we've already had this week, but plenty more still to come as we turn our attention toward the weekend, Dave.
Yeah, just a few favorites. It's a packed weekend of USL Championship soccer, but I wanted to focus here on the Pacific, where we've got Monarchs and Galaxy 2 on Friday night. Saturday, that huge cross-conference matchup on ESPN2 that we're all going to watch. Tampa Bay Rowdies hosting Phoenix Rising FC. Little New Mexico United and Austin Bold over there Saturday evening as well. And then up on Sunday, Orange County finally opens the season, coming up here to Cheney Stadium. Y'all can watch us again noon. Good noon start there on Sunday.
Just a noon matinee. Well, you talked about the Pacific Division there, but let's take a look at those Pacific Division standings. And that Sacramento Republic win, like you said, Dave, has them level at top of the table, but for goal differential.
Yeah, and obviously everybody's targeting Phoenix Rising FC. They're the reigning Western Conference Championship champions. They're the Titans, and they're what Republic, Defiance, Galaxy 2 are all trying to maintain pace with here in the early season.
Well, let's take a look at some of the other major headlines from around the league this week. And, of course, one of them involves one of our own. And the team of the week was released. And, Dave, as it stands to reason, you're a center back, you score a goal, you get a nod for the team of the week.
Yeah, AP Sissoko, Abdoulaye Sissoko makes the team of the week with, well, frankly, my favorite penalty conversion that I've seen ever. Center backs aren't supposed to be able to put it on target like he did. Upper corner, in the roof. And then Joaquin Rivas with FC Tulsa makes the player of the week. Just a great performance by him. And that's part of what's going on with the power rankings there. With those power rankings, FC Tulsa is all the way up to number 3. Great start for Tulsa. Pacific Division's tight. We already knew that was going to be true. Phoenix Rising. Oh, here we go. Sorry about that.
Here is that goal that you mentioned about. And just, I mean, for that short of a run-up, to hit it with that power and to roof it, I mean, this guy is something special. And, you know, I thought, honestly, Wade Weber was a former center back himself, and maybe he was just getting his guys a look to let him take the penalties. I don't think that anymore, Dave.
No, AB is perfect in the preseason, perfect in the season, and he is the primary penalty taker as long as he's with Defiance.
And that last story, Dave, you mentioned Christian Herrera, tonight's starting keeper, familiar with Oakland roots, and now they are getting familiar with the USL Championship.
Yeah, they joined the USL Championship, had a fun little ownership announcement as Seattle Seahawks legend, potential Hall of Famer, Marshawn Lynch, buying into soccer now. The Oakland legend, Marshawn Lynch, part owner there with roots. They're a great community club there, and it's going to be exciting to see them grow in the Pacific Division and watch them here at Cheney Stadium and up and down the West Coast.
Well, that's what's going on around the USL Championship. When we come back, we'll take a look at our first half highlights, including the goal that has Tacoma Defiance leading San Diego 1-0. We'll be back after this on ESPN+.
Here are AARP top tips on caregiver preparedness during coronavirus. Form a team that can help with caregiving tasks. Take an inventory of essential supplies in your loved one's home. Make a list of the care recipient's medications. Schedule regular calls to fight isolation. Finally, take care of yourself too. Follow the Centers for Disease Control's guidelines for coronavirus safety. For more caregiving tips, go to aarp.org/caregiving.
Our fight against coronavirus isn't over. We still have to slow the spread and do our part. Let's wear face masks in public. Stay 6 feet or more from others. Follow state and local guidelines. Wash our hands frequently and stay home when we feel safe. For ourselves, for our loved ones, for our future. Let's move forward together. Learn more at coronavirus.gov.
Sigue la lucha. Aún no acaba esta batalla. A estas alturas ya estamos cansados, pidiendo esquina. Pero no es momento de bajar la guardia, porque este enemigo, cuando parece que ya está en la lona, se levanta de nuevo y te ataca por donde menos lo esperas. Así que arriba la guardia, porque si pierdes la máscara, todos perdemos la lucha.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool.
To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. If you could see you through my eyes instead of your ego, I believe you'd be surprised to see that you've been blind. Walk a mile.
Welcome back into Cheney Stadium here in Tacoma, Washington, and on ESPN Plus. Set for the start of the second half between Tacoma Defiance, who leads San Diego Loyal SC 1-0. I'm Andrew Harvey alongside Dave Clark on the call for you here in the second 45. And Dave, I mean, we were talking about those last 10 minutes of that first half. The game was tilted in one direction, and it was not in favor of the team who's currently ahead on the scoreboard.
Yeah, San Diego Loyal wants to be able to convert some of those goals. They've had great opportunities to beat Christian Herrera. I think what they're going to want to do is look at some cutback passes. They've had success with width, and Spencer and Herzog do such a great job of opening space. Cutting something back to 12 or 18 yards out might get them that advantage that they need.
If you're Landon Donovan, Dave, from a psychological standpoint, what do you say to your team in the locker room at halftime? They've been on the wrong side of their first two results, and obviously still a long way between this one and the finish line, but once again, under pressure.
I think you want to focus on things that are actually working for San Diego Loyal. You don't abandon what's been working. You keep at this, that whole theory about expected goals. They should be able to succeed.
Meanwhile, if you're Tacoma Defiance, you've got the lead. You do have to wonder if one goal will wind up being enough, as so often it seems in the USL Championship that's not the case. And if you're Wade Weber, you got a young team out there, and 2 of your 4 back line players are on yellow cards. That, of course, is Alex Villanueva and Eric Kinsner, both of them booked by referee Chris Ruska in that first half.
Yeah, those 2 yellow cards might come into play. We've seen one change here from Tacoma Defiance. Danny Robles enters action. And it looks like for the goal scorer, Carlos Anguiano coming off.
So Defiance, one change already. Again, important for those of you tuning in at home to remember, still using the 5 substitutes allowed rule, the rules put in place last season, but you can only use them on 3 substitute occasions. Halftime, of course, Dave, does not count as one of those. So 4 subs left and 3 opportunities to use them for Tacoma Defiance.
And Wade Weber will use them. And San Diego also made a substitution. Hunter Ashworth comes off, and Jordan Chavez enters.
Spencer here fires, and it whistles just wide. Well, just like that, your fortunes can change just that quickly, and it's certainly what Landon Donovan hopes his San Diego side will continue to put the pressure on. Kitahara comes for the ball there. Brewitt up as far as Obed Vargas. Gone over the top for Azriel Gonzalez. That bounces right down the line and just barely into touch.
I think Azriel had the hope that there was a little English on that one and it'd curl in after that bounce, and unfortunately it kept the improper angle.
Bakayazili up towards Spencer. Marlon Vargas nearly set on through the through ball there.
And he had to hold himself back on the second movement there, or he would have been off.
Herrera making the smart play, just tucking that ball out of play. This is Blake.
About 1% of keepers these days would try to take that back underfoot and dribble the man, but
well, it's the one thing I've noticed, Dave, is anytime a keeper decides to do that, it's either a clip that will live in infamy or forever in his personal highlight reel. Seems to have a very binary outcome when they go for the heel drag. Here's Guido. Gone through for Herzog, too narrow.
And you and I talk about Landon Donovan wanting to find more width, and of course, all of the success has been jamming it right down the middle. This is why he's a coach with well over 100 professional goals. Multiple World Cups.
This is Jordan Chavez. There for Martin. Another shot blocked. And Herrera rolls over it. And Kinsner taking a minute to fix his socks after that one. San Diego just so quick.
Yeah, we heard some nice shin-to-shin contact there on the rebound. And I think San Diego's going to want that first touch back, because one-timing that on to goal, and I think they get there first for the evening.
Thrown in here to Chavez. Chavez, an interesting addition to this San Diego side from Chula Vista, California. Played for Chula Vista FC last year, which is in the SoCal Premier League. That's part of the USASA, not part of the official professional ranks of the game here in the United States. This is Zizzo. From long range, Herrera forced into the diving stop. The rebound is put in. Level at 1 here in Tacoma. Well, it was an amazing initial save from Christian Herrera, but the quality of the finish just unstoppable there.
Yeah, just two laser blasts. This first one from range. Herrera has to go to full extension and isn't quite up fast enough to be able to put his foot in the way of the rebound.
Defiance going to make a double change here. They're going to bring on Alec Diaz and Ray Serrano for Marlon Vargas. Azriel Gonzalez hands off the captain's armband to Tom Brewitt before trotting over to be replaced by Ray Serrano. Well, Jack Metcalf comes up with a huge goal for the visitors, and we're back on level terms. It didn't take very long into this second half.
I'm surprised at that quick substitution. That's putting more offense in. Ray Serrano had a really strong 2020, as did Alec Diaz.
Obed Vargas, Ocampo Chavez. San Diego looking to strike twice. Now a quick ball. Not sure if Guido will try to claim that was a cross or a shot. Maybe midway between both, Dave.
Yeah, and I think one of the interesting things here about Loyal is after they scored that goal that drew the game level, they rushed the ball out of that own net. Like they were trying to pull it back as if they didn't have time to score another, like teams typically do when they pull back to 2-1.
Metcalf again, another dangerous cross. Well, the message seems to be clear from San Diego. A draw on the road, not enough after the frustration of those first two matches. They are looking for all three. Spencer, another heel flick. And it's gone out for a goal kick. On the road, can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM-FC, North America's only 24/7 source of soccer radio, featuring Ray Hudson, Tony Miola, Rodney Marsh, and the brand new USL All Access featuring Mike Watson, Devin Kerr, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Fans of the USL can now listen to the best matches of the week, along with action from MLS, the Premier League, and the UEFA Champions League. Sirius XM-FC, channel 157 on your Sirius XM radio and the Sirius XM app.
USL All Access had Landon Donovan on one of their earlier episodes. John Harkes on another. It's fun to listen into those legends of the American soccer system that are now coaching in the USL.
Chavez gives chase to this. Some doubt as to whether or not he would have been onside if he'd gotten there. But it's out of play in any event. Ryan under some pressure. Back for Herrera. Square to Kinsner. Villanueva. And another turnover. This time quickly toward Herzog. He heads it toward goal. And Herrera happy to see that one bounce wide. Long over the top. Diaz the first to it. Chavez shortly behind him. Robles. Kitahara. Metcalf taps that away. Another Tacoma Defiance corner.
They do bring Brewitt and Kinsner up.
Robles. Put away on the inside. As far as Serrano, it's a low-driven ball toward him. Boy, that got through an awful lot of Defiance players.
Alfonso Campos Chavez is currently down.
Kinsner toward goal, and that one didn't miss by much. Campos Chavez still down. Didn't see what happened to him in the scrum there. We'll wave on the trainers here. We'll have to see if we have a decent look at what happened. But Dave, there was so much chaos on that cross in from Serrano. Defiance trainer Sheila Tatsunami out there, tending to Alfonso Campos Chavez. The USL League One makes history Sunday afternoon as Greenville Triumph and Union Omaha enter the national spotlight. The title holders from Greenville welcome Union Omaha to South Carolina as both sides look to set an early tone in 2021. Watch it live as League One makes history on Sunday, May 16th at 4 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Here's another look at that, and you can see it just right there at the right edge of your screen. Ocampo Chavez gets clipped, and we can report he's now up and coming off under his own power. So probably one of those ones, Dave, that catches you right outside the coverage of the shin guard, and those really do sting, but he looks like he'll be fit to continue.
Yeah, it'll be good to see if Fonz, he's walking it off right now. I expect to see him back in a little bit. He's just at the tail end. You saw Kinsner, the Tacoma native, blast that ball, and the poor woodwork.
Still rattling, I think. Adams looking diagonally here. Guido. Here's Colin Martin. Try to go ahead for Spencer. Ocampo Chavez lets it run, and Herrera dives on the loose ball.
It's kind of him to be active so early because that let you say his name so everybody knows that he's back on the field healthy.
Saves me the announcement, I suppose. Thanks for that, Dave. Here's Obed Vargas causing some problems. And Robles will take the throw. Straight to Obed Vargas. Turned over on the back pass. Metcalf, the goal scorer. And Kinsner committing the foul by going over Spencer.
Well done to keep that one in play.
Well, despite the adverse results here, there's no doubting San Diego's composure. Here's Herzog. He tried to square it back inside. And kind of a mirror effort from Ocampo Chavez from a similar position in the first half. With a similar result. Now here's Martin. Metcalf. And it's gone out for a corner.
Wader will be happy with how much effort Fonz is putting in defensively. When you have a winger that's not been involved in attacks on goal, they have to put in that effort and grind.
Martin available as the short option on this corner. Just seconds away from the hour mark here at Cheney Stadium. Adams to take it. Lobs this one in. Dealt away by Ryan. Back in from Metcalf. Van Kayazili came through the back of his defender and is going to draw a caution for it. Dave, your thoughts on the foul? Didn't seem to be too much in there from the defender.
We've seen that foul several times this evening. It's just a pretty typical foul when two go up in the air. One slightly over the other. I'm kind of surprised to see a card on that one.
Well, he joins Villanueva and Eric Kinsner in Chris Ruska's book. You know, Dave, thinking about the last 30 minutes of this match, obviously both these sides desperately want to find a game winner and take all 3 points, but from a neutral perspective, it's just great to be back at a stadium on a sunny evening with fans in the stands, some good soccer being played. As here's Alec Diaz. Ocampo Chavez steps topside. Villanueva. Here's Obed Vargas. Ryan. His cross safely into the hands of Trey Muse.
San Diego was concerned about that possession. They brought all but Spencer back into their defensive shell.
Cut out there by Ryan, and good thing too, Jack Blake was nearly away. Here's Serrano. Has everything going but the ball, does Ray Serrano. Blake links up with Martin. To the near side for Spencer. His low cross nearly reaches Guido. Only as far as Adams on the clearance. Metcalf. Searching in, the diving header from Blake. Gone high. Well, would have been an instant contender for goal of the week, and oh boy, it looks like Blake is feeling some adverse effects from putting his body on the line for that one.
That was a great diving header. It's hard to get the angle on those. It's kind of at the mercy of the laws of physics once you leave your feet.
Christian Herrera gets that all the way to the feet of Serrano. Try to poke it straight ahead for Ocampo Chavez. He was visibly frustrated after that turnover.
He wanted that about 12 inches closer to him.
Sometimes strange to think about it, Dave, that a game that's played on a pitch as large as this can often come down to a margin that small. Another free kick for Tacoma just past midfield. Colin Martin, the guilty party, and Obed Vargas cut down there. And Tacoma's change will be another attacking sub. They'll pull off Alfonso Ocampo Chavez. Bring on Randy Mendoza, who's kind of an everyman, able to do a little bit of everything. Here's another look at that foul.
He just got caught between two loyal players. Might be a generous call in that case. Alex Villanueva pushes up a line, taking over where Ocampo Chavez was. Mendoza is now your left back.
I suppose that's one way of getting a yellow card off the back line. Move him to the wing. Kitahara gone wide for Villanueva. Faced off with Metcalf there. Hard running. Loose ball. Ryan brings this down, pulls it inside past Zizzo, tucks it back for a cutback cross. Villanueva. The attempted scissor kick. Serrano's shot blocked and out for a corner. Now Tacoma Defiance creating a chance out of almost nothing.
That's just persistence right there. If you just act frequently in the area, maintaining possession, magic may happen.
Now the corner from Villanueva to the back post. Comes behind Kinsner. Guido chopped down there, and that will be an easy decision for the referee. So to Kitahara, fourth player into the book tonight.
That's actually a smart yellow there. Somehow San Diego was rushing forward with just 3 players against 6, but looked like they had all the advantage. So Soda just decided to end that transition. I'm okay with it.
Adams free kick. Off of Chavez and away from Kitahara. Blake, Chavez, gone down there just outside the 18. He's looking for a call. Villanueva down as well. Blake, shoveled in. Brewitt hits it out. San Diego looking to recycle. Blake, in off his left man, Kayazili, and Herrera snags that ball off the line. San Diego going full throttle right now. I think now's their chance. And Herzog flagged offside. Well, a couple of offensive flurries over these last 2 minutes, one at either end of the field, Dave.
Yeah, this was a dangerous moment for San Diego Loyal, what they created here. Just pounded in. Good snap header, great angle, good power. Herrera just gets to it first.
Ryan, return from Serrano. Won't connect with him. And Herrera has had a couple of really important stops tonight, Dave, but his distribution has been a struggle, to say the least.
Yeah, you shouldn't be surprising your own fullback with a pass behind him.
Diaz, honestly, a little bit lucky he didn't have the ball at his feet there. Otherwise, he might have been taking it off at the ankle. Blake gone for goal. Herrera, another bobble, but another save. And rolling out quickly. Tacoma don't really have numbers on the break. Serrano spins out of pressure well. Now here's Obed Vargas. Serrano takes over. His cross blocked right away by Jordan Chavez.
Ray Serrano and Obed Vargas both knew what the other one was going to do. They occupied the space perfectly on that run. Great communication between the two of them, figuring out who was going to pick up the ball and who was going to run to space.
Villanueva for the corner here in the 70th minute. Villanueva. And Trey Muse catches it at the far side. Spent a lot of time in drills against his teammates here in Tacoma and with Sounders FC. At a certain point, you have to wonder who has the net benefit on studying one another's tendencies and training all those times. Ball out of play. That'll lead to a substitution. Corey Herzog's night is done. He'll be replaced by Nicky Jackson. Joins the team after spending 2020 with the Colorado Rapids. Had loan spells with Colorado Springs, Charlotte Independence. And he'll come on to see if he can help San Diego find a game winner here in the late stages of this match.
That leaves Landon Donovan with one opportunity to make up to 3 players substitutes.
This is Jackson. Here's Blake. Right-footed cross, headed away from Spencer. Martin controls. Metcalf. His cross. Overhit. Gone out for a goal kick. Now open from weekdays, noon to 5 p.m., the We Are Tacoma team store is stocked with Tacoma's newest kit, Commencement Gray. Defiance's new kit honors our connection to sea and sky. Freshen up your fit with Commencement Gray online at wearetacoma.com/team store or visit the team store on match days. Martin trying to slice that ball through. Villanueva trying to push the tempo. Here's Robles.
Crowd rallying Tacoma Defiance.
had a chance to talk to Wade Weber before this match. We kind of asked him what he thought the crowd might wind up doing. As here's advantage play, a perfect cross and a perfect finish. Alec Diaz has Tacoma back in front in the 73rd.
Obed Vargas does a great job pushing it out, and Alex Villanueva, the winger, serves it in to the USL Championship's best teenage attacker from 2020, and he picks up right where he left off. Alec Diaz, the Puerto Rican national team senior player at this time.
19 years old, he led Tacoma with 6 goals and 2 assists last season. And like you said, Dave, picking right up where he left off. Once again, the pressure on San Diego, but they've looked dangerous.
And we both know Wade Weber enough that he won't take credit for that, but his substitutions and shifts in the formation are what created that goal.
Zizzo's cross is on the ground. Ryan, chance to dribble free. Blake, really good touch to bring that down, just couldn't quite control it. Now here's Diaz, breaking free, tug from behind. Diaz can't beat Herrera, can't beat Trey Muse. And he won't wind up getting the free kick because the advantage did result in a promising attacking opportunity, but Van Kayazili could still see yellow for that very cynical jersey tug after this ball goes out of play.
But won't.
And no move from Chris Rusker, the referee. I mean, maybe he just didn't see it the way we did, but Van Kayazili pretty clearly reached out and grabbed the Puerto Rican striker.
A more cynical player might have gone down on that tug.
Well, if he does, and he does it outside the area, San Diego likely playing the rest of this match with only 10 men. And now here's Randy Mendoza going to go into the book.
Well, if you wanted to see a Tacoma Defiance team that had a little bit more oomph this year, you definitely have, because they're starting to collect yellows. It's a little more ferocity.
Mendoza, the 4th Defiance player booked tonight. Blake over this free kick. Swings it in and swings it out. All the way out, in fact, for a throw-in. Blake bats that ball down. Martin knocks it back. Metcalf forced to give chase. Van Kayazili trying to work that through. Ryan under pressure, trying to shepherd it out. Instead, it's a turnover. It's Zizzo. His cross loose to the back post and beyond everyone for a goal kick. Ryan trying to shield that ball out there, Dave, and wound up giving away a very dangerous opportunity.
Yeah, that's going to be a play that Wade Weber will talk to him about. You just want to clear that ball in those circumstances. Then again, Landon Donovan is going to want to talk to his attacking players, because that low ball through is something that they need to pounce on.
77th minute now. Tacoma Defiance leading 2-1. Dave, as Christian Herrera gets the get on with it whistle from our referee. In boxing, the 9th and 10th round are called the championship rounds. And I'm starting to feel something similar about those last 15 minutes of a match from 75 onward. As here's Tacoma trying to be dangerous once more. Serrano, crunching tackle, but he got all ball. Serrano looks down like he's been chopped down with a chainsaw. Serrano slowly back to his feet. And another reaching tackle there. That one will draw a whistle. Sal Zizzo hard in, gets a lot of Obed Vargas. Don't ever let anyone tell you, Dave, that soccer's not a contact sport.
They certainly hadn't watched this match if they think that it's a non-contact sport.
Villanueva, Danny Robles over this ball. It's just Villanueva now. He chops that in. Can't do much of it. Tacoma didn't look too interested in packing numbers in the box. Didn't want to get caught on the counter. And Defiance going to make their final change here. They're bringing on Cody Baker. And he's coming on for Issa Ryan. Ryan, who had the assist on that Anguiano goal back in the 44th minute. Dave, Cody Baker, another young prospect for this Tacoma Defiance side. What can you tell the listeners about him?
Brian Smetzer really likes his shoes. Sorry. Cody Baker was a center back with the Seattle Sounders Academy, looking at more as a right back now. Trained with Sounders in the preseason and with Defiance. He's up under an academy contract here with Defiance.
Herrera. Boy, he got all of that one, Dave. Good Lord.
And as you and I have been talking about, with Tacoma playing on Sunday at noon, using all five substitutes, not necessarily a surprise, particularly with how much those fullbacks run in the Tacoma system. Inserting two more fullbacks late in this game gives their normal starters a little bit of opportunity to rest for an extra 15 or 20 minutes.
Mendoza tucks that ball out of play. And here comes San Diego's final sub of the evening. Just one change for Landon Donovan with his third substitution opportunity. It's Elijah Martin who's coming on, and he's coming on for Sal Zizzo. Martin, a really talented player out on that wing. Was a player who was a little bit snake bit in that match against RGVFC. Had a great chance that fell to him that he couldn't put away. This falls through. Guido sticks a leg toward it, and Baker gets it away from him. The final 10 minutes, Tacoma Defiance leading by a single goal here at Cheney Stadium. San Diego Loyal, who've been putting the screws to Tacoma as often as possible. But Tacoma still dangerous anytime they get a couple men past midfield. So much pace on this young team, Dave.
Yeah, there's the pace, and then there's the knowledge that San Diego might be prone to mistakes passing along that back line. So if the pressure can force them to make mental mistakes, maybe Tacoma pounces for a third. You'll also see that Tacoma's pressure is mostly coming from Danny Robles, coming up from the 10 to be a high defensive pressure player.
And Robles just is the Energizer Bunny, Dave. He just keeps going and going and going. I don't think I've ever seen him stop or pull out of a challenge at all in the couple years I've watched him. As now Tom Brewitt needs some attention.
And that's not great for Tacoma because Wade Weber's out of substitution opportunities.
Well, the United Soccer League, all 31 championship clubs and its players stand together in support of diversity, inclusivity, equality, and compassion. For more information on the USL's commitment to change through the United Against Racism campaign, visit uslsoccer.com. Brewitt here, getting a bit of an extended look.
A couple Defiance players rehydrating. Alex Villanueva and Obed Vargas. In the year of 2021, everybody's got their own bottle, so they're not shared anymore. And Tacoma is going to ask for as much patience as possible on this decision, because again, they're out of substitutes.
Wade Weber watching on there from the far side. Brewitt helped to his feet. Ben Spencer doing his best to get the water bottles off the field in an expeditious manner. Brewitt going to come off under his own power here. He'll be waved back on by Chris Ruska at a moment that the referee deems appropriate. Meanwhile, we'll play 11 on 10. Brewitt still not allowed to return. Now he's getting waved back on. Adams. Back for Venkayazili. Elijah Martin. Nicky Jackson, clever move there to get the ball toward Guido. Jordan Chavez escorting this ball back to Trey Muse.
Tacoma just took that opportunity to have a breather.
You certainly get the sense that the Defiance are getting set to weather a storm here over these final 6 minutes in stoppage. Blake for the corner. Player down in the box, headed away before Herrera can get to it. Brewitt there as well. Spencer down like he's been shot. And Robles volleys it away. Trey Muse stumbles there, falls on the loose ball. That's an indirect free kick. Well, the case that can be made is if it's a legitimate attempt to clear the ball and the keeper fails to do it, he does still have the right to pick it up. I think you're stretching the definition of the law there, but Muse, fortunate in that case. Here's another dangerous giveaway. Tacoma Defiance can put it to bed. Robles got too generous with it, and it's tackled away from Adams. Gone out for a corner.
Tacoma will have the opportunity to ask one last question. Just to open another door, because you never know what's behind it.
And it looks like it's going to be corner ball. Looped up top for Robles. Well tackled boy by Elijah Martin. Straight back from Ray Serrano. Now it's Colin Martin. Inviting ball into space there. Blake trying to pull it back against Villanueva. He's gone down, and it's a free kick. Fatigue settling in for both these sides. Early in the season, yet you don't always have your sea legs under you to go that full 90. Charlie Adams over this set piece.
Defiance with the shortest wall possible. No offense, Danny.
Adams floats it in. Herrera catches it cleanly. And the keeper down. And now picking himself back up to his feet. Didn't see any contact there, but Herrera might have been trying to make a case for it.
Well, one thing you know, he's been around many teams, about 6 years now as a pro.
Here's an opportunity for Tacoma. Diaz tried to cut it to his left there. Broken up before it reaches Spencer. And Diaz settles it. I have to imagine that Diaz thought he had a chance of beating Trey Muse there, Dave.
Yeah, he just mishit what he wanted to be the world's longest chip.
Well, certainly would have put the match to bed, but of course, hindsight being 2020, Defiance might have wanted to hold on to it there. Dangerous cross all the way through and out for a goal kick.
I like Herrera, though, when he stayed down there late. Shows a maturity that sometimes Tacoma Defiance players have lacked.
Summer sun, cold ones, burgers. Defiantly Tacoma players, come back to the park and enjoy Tacoma Defiance soccer again. Go to tacdefiance.com to join us Sunday or get season tickets as the party returns to the heart of Tacoma, Cheney Stadium. Thumped away from Herrera. Elijah Martin, shoulder to shoulder with Ray Serrano. Well won by Martin. Serrano believes it's his throw-in. The referees disagree. And Serrano going to be cautioned there. Likely for delaying the restart of play, perhaps unsporting behavior. And certainly Chris Ruska not making himself any fans among the home support.
And it feels good to hear boos again.
It feels good to hear anything. Certainly know what it must mean for the players. Guido, good looking ball. Herrera catches it, bowled into there. Nicky Jackson and Herrera, the worse for wear. Probably making the most of this is Christian Herrera. Nicky Jackson seemed to be slowing down pretty clearly. Certainly no ill will from the San Diego forward. Another look at it here, Dave.
It's a great ball in, and Herrera's at a full extension, and he gets the shoulder tackle. I mean, it was a slow shoulder tackle, but it'd be one that, like Pete Carroll teaches. Some of our USL Championship fans might not know that reference. Pete Carroll coaches the Seattle Seahawks of the NFL. Big believer in a shoulder tackle.
Herrera helps himself to about 12 free yards. Not going to get it from the referee. One of those weird things, Dave, when the team that's leading by a lone goal in the last 10 minutes, someone gets hit. You never know if they're actually seriously hurt or just working the clock. We're being told now that we can expect a minimum of 5 minutes of stoppage time. Certainly a fair ledger between the goals and the injury delays we've seen here in the second 45.
Yeah, 5 seems fair, and Tacoma can't just pump it clear every time. They're going to have to maintain possession if they want to maintain this lead.
Jackson, fired by Blake. It came off Jackson's arm. Handball.
San Diego doing everything they can to speed up the restart.
Colin Martin came through the back of Villanueva there. Landon Donovan just doubled over. And Martin cautioned as well here in stoppage time.
Ruska pointing out multiple other fouls for a persistent infringement.
Randy Mendoza up to Diaz and quickly out of play. Serrano. Dispossessed by Vankayazili. Guido wins the ball cleanly. Diagonal look over the top. Herrera lets it run out of play. once more from Herrera. Picked up by Trey Muse. Now here's Serrano. He's drifting toward the inside. Serrano squares it, and Tacoma Defiance will be walking away with 3 points in their home opener. Danny Robles finishes off the beautiful run from Ray Serrano. 3-1 Tacoma.
Serrano just sprints on this, has all the energy that no one else in this game has. Robles does a great job staying onside, and he could pick his angle. He was so open.
Well, it's what Tacoma is capable of doing. One of the things Wade Weber talked about to us earlier this week was the importance of finishing. Tacoma's been a club that has historically started matches really well, Dave, but those last 10 minutes, overtime, have gotten the better of them. Tonight, not the case.
They did a good job killing some time there with Christian Herrera and pouncing on their few opportunities. That's what they've been doing so far this year. That's how they've gotten all of their goals tonight.
Martin swung back post. Villanueva heads it away. Metcalf lets it run. Out for a corner. The final minute of the scheduled 5, although we might reasonably see a little bit more than that. Lake tees himself up on the volley, and that ball gets wedged above the scoreboard. Dave, 4 years we've been calling games here together. I don't think I've ever seen that happen.
I would agree. We've, between Defiance and OL Reign, there have been plenty of opportunities, but I think that's the first one in live action.
Goodness knows, that poor scoreboard takes a lot more of a beating than it did back when Cheney was just used for the Tacoma Rainiers baseball team. And you just see it there. Long minutes, legs starting to give out a little bit. And the full-time whistle sounds. Tacoma Defiance starts things off at home with a huge 3 points and a big 3-1 victory over San Diego, who go to 0-3 on the season.
Wade Weber continues his streak, undefeated. 4 times he's been a head coach at Tacoma, 5 times he's been a head coach at Tacoma Defiance now, and gets his first victory, though.
Wow, just a really professional performance all the way around. Entertaining 90 minutes of soccer, Dave. San Diego Loyal, certainly a team that you could argue are in a false position on the table for the quality that they have. But on the night, Tacoma Defiance made better use of their chances.
Yeah, and it was all about chance conversion. That's how Tacoma got the win. They converted. Obviously, San Diego had many more opportunities than Tacoma to score. They just didn't do it. And it's rough because Donovan's side is going to be on the road much more extensively, and that's the curse of those early road swings is sometimes you fall behind.
Loyal are on the road again next Saturday, May 22nd at Louisville City FC. That match scheduled for a 4:30 p.m. kickoff Pacific time at Lynn Family Stadium. Be sure to tune into that one. Defiance, meanwhile, Dave, have to turn around very quickly and go again at noon on Sunday against an Orange County side that has not played an official match yet, so there's not much available on them.
Yeah, Orange County finally gets to get underway. It's going to be a great game here at noon. It's probably going to be the last or second to last sunny day as late May looks to get a little bit drizzly here in Puget Sound.
Well, Jack Metcalf scored for the visitors, but it's Anguiano, Diaz, and Danny Robles with the cherry on top as Tacoma Defiance. And boy, how special is this moment after so long away, 428 days without fans in the stands. And now Tacoma Defiance relishing in a win here at Cheney. Well, that's going to do it for us here from Cheney Stadium. Your final score, Tacoma Defiance 3, San Diego Loyal SC 1. For all of us, including Dave Clark on ESPN+, I'm Andrew Harvey saying so long, thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you next time.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.